to make them even stronger and move them closer to their goal of completely dominating the rest of us. During the conversation with Goodwin, Whitney discusses two important parts of the New World Order plans: digital IDs and natural world tokenization, warning that Schwab, Fink, and useful puppets like Macron are on the verge of achieving their grand plans, and how disastrous that would be for us all. As we bring you clips from the video, please take a little time to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. Everything you do helps with the YouTube algorithm and immensely contributes to the channel's growth. Thank you, and enjoy the video.
In this context, I think the digital ID is a key enabler of the surveillance, knowing what everyone is doing at the transactional level and being able to tweak that micromanagement based on a person's activity, because the digital ID isn't just limited to the financial system, right? It's like your travel, your health history, your career history, your education credentials, your access to telecommunications, social media, the internet. With the new AI era, right, they can fuse all the data, analyze it, and depending on how they develop that AI algorithm, use it to control people really in unprecedented ways. I think the digital ID and the CBDC and its private sector equivalence project is something that we're always sort of intended to be the same system. So there's documents from the UN, from the BIS, and related groups that are sort of that have been working on this for years, that essentially frame one as essential to the other, using words about, this is inclusionary, the whole, marketing behind digital ID is that everyone needs a legal ID because otherwise they're unable to access essential services, right? And so the idea is we all have to be included in the system, and they directly link that to the concept of financial inclusion and banking the unbanked, which you brought up earlier. But inherently, these systems actually function in an exclusionary way, based on how they've been set up. They have essentially said that this will be the only way to prove you have legal identity, and so if you don't participate in that system, as far as the state or the private sector is concerned, you don't exist.
And I'm gonna let it play some more, but notice how everything we've been saying according to biblical prophecy is all coming to pass. Everything that you hear people talk about as far as the future is concerned, even on the digital level, they're all sounding very similar to what we've been saying as far as what the prophecy says according to the Bible. This is how you know that this is not just us saying things. This has already been prophesied over 2,000 years ago that will be the end of the world, and it has to do with a new system in place. And digital is that go-to. And this digital system is going to mirror that of the Roman system and how the Roman Empire was established. And that's basically what you could say the New World Order is complete control. But in the scriptures, it's known as, the image of the beast.
So by not participating in that system, you're inherently excluded from the economic system and really essentially everything. So you have to onboard to the surveillance state or be excluded from everything. So it's, being marketed as inclusion, but it's really inherently exclusionary.
How does this system get triggered? How do we move into the Mark Carney-ism?
Well, I think they sort of give it away when they say that this is the new Bretton Woods movement that needs to be seized. So Bretton Woods was what came out of World War II, essentially, and was the creation of a new financial governance system after World War II. And this is essentially an effort to create a new financial governance system that was announced well before any sort of crisis like that, but it's probably going to need a crisis of that level to be implemented and to convince people to onboard at scale. And if you subscribe to the theory that all wars are bankers' wars, which there is plenty of evidence to support that, I would say, that seems to suggest that perhaps, this is it's going to be a problem, reaction, solution type of situation where they've already made the solution. They've already developed what they want to be the new financial governance system after this new Bretton Woods moment. They just need some sort of big event on the scale of World War II or some large event that's equally disruptive in order to be like, all right, now it's time for a new financial governance system after this big event like they did.
And that's the same formula they've been following, for years now. And it's called the Hegelian dialect, which, you can always figure out that this Amalek is behind. He's the source when you go down. Any little rabbit hole you go down, you're going to find out that Esau, Edom, in particular, Amalek, is right there, and he's responsible. It's called the Hegelian dialect. You got problem, reaction, solution. You create the problem. You manipulate and propagandize, if I'm using that word correctly, people to think and to view the situation in one way. You hype it up, and then you already offer the solution. And the trick was that there was never really a problem in the first place, but because of the media, because of the power of the tongue, which is the power of Satan, one of his main devices, he could convince you to do whatever he wants. And that just goes, just look at the in 2019 all the way to 2021. Look at what they convinced all these people to do. They convinced people to be afraid, and that stay away from your family, stay 6 feet away from each other. And in the end, you need to get this medicine to be safe. It's the only thing that's going to protect you. It started off as you're being a hero for working through it into the development. And then when it became on the scene, it was, optional. No big deal. This is just for the people who want to stay safe. So they started to make you feel left out, right? And then they said, all right, enough's enough. If you don't get this, you don't deserve to work. You're dangerous to the society. You're causing more problems than you think you are fixing. We have the answer. You need to get on board. And it's through those fear tactics is what they got a lot of people to comply. And then only after the fact, it all dropped. It's no longer a requirement. And they say, yeah, when that 6 feet thing, we basically made that up. And now nobody even talks about it. So what exactly did they get millions of people to do just off media alone, off fear alone? It's called problem, reaction, solution, and they're going to do it again.
After World War II.
Yeah, and I think the thing that's so interesting about this debt bubble exploding is that when you know that the debt bubble is going to explode and you want to explode it into the new system, the way that you sort of trigger that into the system that you want to get the masses to go with you is you actually want to have the most debt obligations on the record, on the board, so that when the system pops, they'll all pop. When the debt bubble pops, every debt bubble will pop. It will be everything all at once. It won't just be like, oh, Japan's fine, the US is it won't work like that. Everything will pop at once. So in this weird way, you actually want to create as much debt as possible right before the pin bursts the bubble, and then you can offer this, hey, we'll service your debt 1-to-1.
What's up, y'all? Mentor.
Indeed. This video is titled BlackRock's Next Plans Will Shock the World. Whitney Webb's latest Larry Fink exposed. And exactly, Larry Fink actually owns BlackRock. BlackRock is owned by Larry Fink, which Larry Fink is a 1948er. No surprise there. BlackRock happens to own the name of that company that was responsible for the shutdown about 2 weeks ago, the little computer shutdown where a lot of people couldn't, their planes, all that. You figure out who owns that, BlackRock, right? They're talking about what, prior to that, they're talking about what people need to be prepared because the system is vulnerable to a cyber attack. And so these things are being done to inconvenience the people, get them inconvenienced enough to where this is creating a problem. Get them inconvenienced enough to where they can then provide, that's basically your reaction. Oh my God, we can't keep doing this. This just shows you how vulnerable our system are. Look at how easily all it takes is for Russia to come in and hack, and look at how we're shut down. Oh my God, oh man, we need to come up with a solution. And here they come with the solution. Oh, guess what? We found a solution. We have this new digital hardwire system, this secure proof, and you have to volunteer to get in on board. If you get in on board, this is how you protect yourself from being attacked and cyber attack and all that other stuff. And it just happened to be in line with the microchip. Right. So what we basically saying is, well, first, giving all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai by Hashem HaRachakodash, saying double honors to our apostles and elders here at Great Millstone. So notice is that everything that's being talked about is all leading into this end that the Bible prophesies about. I mean, this is how you determine if what we've been saying is true as far as the breakdown and the understanding of the book of Revelation. This is how we know through the Spirit that we have the understanding of the book of Revelation completely, and what we've been teaching, starting with our apostles and elders, a great millstone of what these things are, such as the beast with the 7 heads, the little horn that comes up, the mark, the image. These is how we know what those are. And this is how we know that it's all coming to pass. Notice that everything these people are saying as we get down to the wire, the future and the developments and what they're coming with, they're all sounding just like us. It's because it's prophetic, right? Understand Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai gets the glory, because it's already been written 2,000 years ago. The Lord just gave us the scoop. He opened our eyes to understand what's written. And then we go out and we teach it. And our apostles have been teaching that for well over 30 years now, before there was even talk about a digital system, a digital microchip. Before all this even came forth, the apostles was bringing it out because the Most High revealed it in the Spirit. And this is how you know it's the truth. As Deuteronomy 18, verse 19, verse 20, it says, "But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, which I have commanded him to speak, which I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other gods, even that prophet shall die. And if thou say in thine heart, how shall we know the word which the Lord Yahweh have not spoken?" So the scriptures talk about many prophets, right? So how do you know which one is telling the truth? How do you know which one is prophesying falsely or is incorrect with their breakdown of what the scriptures is? Verse 22 says, "When the prophet speaketh in the name of the Lord Yahweh, if the thing follow not, nor come to pass, that is the thing which the Lord Yahweh have not spoken. But the prophet that has spoken it presumptuously, thou shalt not be afraid of him." So how do you determine who's telling the truth? Well, you have to watch and observe. You have to watch and observe. And this is your job as a listener. It's our job as well. You don't think we search out things diligently when we listen to other people talk about other doctrines, other Israelite groups talk about other doctrines? You don't think we search that out when they say the mark of the beast is spiritual, it's sin, it's an embargo? You don't think we like, where are they getting this from? And where's your proof and where's your evidence that to say that the image of the beast is the image of Jesus, right? The so-called white man of Cesare Borgia. You have to show proof that in line with the scripture, in line with prophecy, that image is going to be forced on the whole world again, and that those who don't bow to that image will be dead. But you have to show proof, because if you look today, nobody's talking about no sweet Jesus, right? Nobody's talking about the image of Cesare Borgia. Nobody's talking about religion. That they're actually looking to get the Bible banned, right? They're trying to get the scriptures banned from speaking, because the prophecy it's the spirit of Yahweh Shai, and it speaks against their master plan, because we're already calling it out before they even do it. Right? That's the power of the Most High to declare the things before they happen, especially if it's the plan of the wicked elite. Thus, it loses its power, because they used to operate in secrecy, and all he has to do is to bring it out, as Isaiah 48. 46, verse 10, declaring the end from the beginning and from the ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand and I will do all my pleasure. So it was already declared. And since we got the scoop, Yahweh Shem Yahushua gave us the inside scoop. He didn't have to do it, but he did it because of mercy and because he loves us. As Amos 3:7 says, surely the Most High Yahweh will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. Just like he did Daniel to reveal the secret of the dream, so that he could declare it, so that it may be known that the power of the Lord is the Lord controls all things. He has the power to reveal secrets and dreams and the interpretation thereof, and to break it down, and it all comes to pass. 2 Peter chapter 2 says, but there were false prophets also among the people, even as there shall be false teachers among you, who privately shall bring in damnable heresies, even denying the Lord that brought them, and bring upon themselves swift destruction. So there are going to be false prophets. That's prophesied. Your job is to try the Spirit by the Spirit. You have to examine what they're saying. You have to first get understanding of the scriptures, examine what they're saying, and then put two to two together to say, okay, I need to know who's really telling you, who's telling the truth. As 1 John chapter 4 says, beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they are of Yahweh, because many false prophets are gone out in the world. Right. Hereby know ye the spirit of Yahweh. Every spirit that confesses that Yahweh Shai Mashiach is coming to the flesh is of Yahweh. And every spirit that confesses not that Yahweh Shai Mashiach is coming to the flesh is not of Yahweh. And this is the spirit of an anti-Messiah, whereof ye have heard that it shall come, even now already is it in the world. So you have to try the spirit, and you have to try the doctrine. You have to say what name you coming in. Okay, you coming in the name Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Okay, good. So do you believe Yahweh Shai came in the flesh? Do you believe that he's the Son of Man? Okay, good. Do you believe that his anointed, who he anointed, the apostles, such as Paul, is a man of the Lord? No, you don't? Okay, I can't follow you. Because you just basically deny really Yahweh Shai by denying his anointing, who he set up. I can't follow you. This is how you have to determine. Okay, what's the mark of the beast? Are you saying the mark of the beast is something spiritual? Okay, that's incorrect. I can't follow you. You're not speaking according to the true sound doctrine, because it's not adding up, or it doesn't make sense. However, you have the men that's been teaching the truth, such as Great Millstone, and we're telling you that we broke down the image of the beast as well as the mark of the beast. So everything is going to lead up to this mark of the beast, which we've been telling you is the RFID microchip. Right? Notice everything is pointing towards that digital currency. And who is one of the main heavy hitters involved in this right now? Elon Musk. And what has just so happened that he happened to be infatuated with chips? Him and the gates of hell. Is that a coincidence? No, it's prophetic. It's prophetic, shall I say. So back in 2 Peter 2, it says, and many shall follow their pernicious ways, by reason of whom the way of truth shall be evil spoken of. So these false prophets are also going to have followers. And it says, and through covetousness shall they with feigned words make merchandise of you, whose judgment now of a long time lingereth not, and their damnation slumbereth not. So these same false prophets are also going to, through covetousness, going to make merchandise of you. And it just so happened that these same ones that speak contrary to the doctrine that we teach, that we have 100% truth, Paul is a man of the Lord, Yahweh Shai has come in the flesh, the mark of the beast is the chip, all the Israelite groups that speak contrary to that just so happen to make merchandise of you, just so happen to have they're more concerned about selling you product. You got to buy this product. They sell you breakdowns. So if you want to listen to a 30-minute breakdown of them breaking down what faith is, you have to pay for that. You have to subscribe to them. You have to pay them each and every month. You have to buy their clothes. You have to buy all these things. All the while, they're not telling you 100% truth, right? It's not. This is all prophetic. So even when we see these Israelite groups preaching contrary to the doctrine, the truth, they're doing the same things, and we're not surprised. All we're doing is bringing it out, and the job is for the sheep, the Lord's sheep, to discern between right and wrong. And just look at what's going on in the world. In the end of the day, look, Yahweh Shem Shai gets the credit. This isn't a great millstone doctrine. This isn't a, well, you could say that, but this is a great millstone self-proclaimed doctrine. The names, Yahweh Shem Shai. Oh, they got the exclusive names. That's what he said. Which the names of Yahweh and Yahweh Shai, you could say those are one. There's only one name for the Most High, one name for the Son. They have many titles. So if you want to say it's exclusive there, sure, but we're not saying that we reserve the rights to use the names Yahweh Yahweh Shai. No, that's, of course not. We give those names freely to all. In the end, Yahweh Yahweh Shai gets the credit for the breakdowns and all that. But it does show you that, okay, that means that the Heavenly Father is dealing with these men. I should just listen to these men to get the following, and follow these men to get the following, so I can be saved. That's it. Take pride out of it. It has nothing to do with us, right? We don't boast in nothing over here. We give glory to the Lord always. Ezekiel 33 and 31. Well, really, verse 33, it says, "And when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come. Then shall they know that a prophet had been among them." So time actually is an indicator of who's telling the truth and who is not. We've been talking about this for years, and mind you, the 90s, even the early 2000s, these same Israelite groups who speak contrary to our doctrine, I mean, mocked and laughed at the existence of the chip. They just laughed at it because it wasn't really broadcasted yet. It was just talked about. You could only see it on paper, so it was laughed at. They were saying, "Oh, you already got a chip in your phone." They talking about some chip. Oh, what a joke! What you think you're gonna be able to buy and sell with a chip? Maybe you can buy a lamb or whatever with a chip. It ain't about that because it wasn't around. So we actually look like fools. Really starting with the apostles, look like fools for a long time because it wasn't full scale yet. It's still not full scale yet. But notice, as time progressed, their doctrine has changed and changed to sound more and more like what we teach. Our stance on Revelation 13 has always been one, whereas the false teachers who teach false doctrines, notice how it changes each and every year. As time changed, their breakdown changes. It used to just be sin or an embargo. Now it's, hell, I don't know. It didn't change so much. Now it's still sin. I think that's what they're saying. And that they're going to push the image of the beast, that image of Caesar Borgia again. But they're not doing that. So where's the proof of that? And that's why now they won't even talk about it. They won't say the image of the beast is Caesar Borgia because they can see clearly they're not going to try to force that on anybody. They ain't talking about that. So you know that ain't the image of the beast. And then now they hinted at the digital. Now they want to talk about the digital in lines with the digital currency and digital ID in line with Revelation 13. So you notice it changes. They keep changing it. And our stance has always been one. Now we say this is going to happen, and then the digital, then we say, up, see, that's the reason it's that digital. But our stance has always been the same. And these people in the world, when they examine these companies, when they examine the future like BlackRock, what are they saying? They're telling you what their plans is, their evil agenda is. And what do you say? Man, that's written in the Bible. That's prophetic. Them brothers has been saying that, and this is how we know it's the truth. That's how you know who's speaking you the truth and who's speaking to you a lie. And you know, we don't stand to gain anything from having you listen or follow. We're just simply doing our job, to teach and edify the Lord's sheep to the best of our ability. All right, because very soon the Lord's gonna close the doors of mercy. So if you're still on the fence, if you still just, well, I like this camp, I like that camp. Yahushua does not deal with lukewarm Israelites. Okay, you're gonna be you stuck in trying to satisfy this group, that group, and I want to be in a neutral place. When the doors, according to prophecy, when the doors of mercy close, that's it. All you're gonna have is your faith and your doctrine. That's all you're gonna have. It's time to just, pick a side if you're in that lukewarm. Just either go all the way warm, go all the way cold, or just go ahead and come in hot. It's over with, man. We at the door. We about to get the hell out of here. This election is gonna be huge because Trump is gonna go in there, which I believe he's gonna be the guy, and he's gonna do exactly what the wicked elite, the international bankers, the small hats want them to do, which is carry out our plan and our agenda, cause the problem, manipulate the reaction, and offer the solution, which is going to be ultimate control. Is everything's going to lead to that RFID microchip. So just pay attention. So with that, shalom.